Okay, it's recording. Okay. I hope y'all can see me pretty well. Well, I am. Look at my ring. I hope that you can hear me over the meditation music. Yeah, so, can't see me. You to God, guardian angels, ancestors, spirit guides, ascended masters, teachers, loved ones, got access. Stream of consciousness that connects me to each and every one of you. And focus my attention on the full moon, all things days, Dia de los Muertos, Hallows Eve, Okay, 5 minutes in, done shuffling, concentrating my energy on a card. I normally don't read for full moons and astrological things because everybody is impacted differently. Knowing that I feel the full moon energy when it hits third quarter and not actually on the moon itself, I just like to experience it on a personal plane. And maybe that's selfish because you guys come here to hear my guidance, hear my wisdom, hear my experience, and put it in a relatable term. But the majority of this journey, though I share some, a lot of it is private and a lot of it is sacred and a lot of it is intrinsically for my knowing personally. So I don't come on here as if I know everything about it and I'm just so immensely knowledgeable of astrology. I learned through others who have actually taken those steps, and I pick things up on my own along the way. But when it comes to this and tarot, that's me. Astrology is an acquired skill set. It's being good at math. It's knowing angles. It's computed. So yeah, that's that. All right. Two groups. I heard two groups, right? Two groups. What's the message for the first group? Okay. I can fucking dig it. Okay. Let me calm down. Second group. Let me just flip them all over. Okay. The overall energy for everyone is firm breath, sweetness, and synergy, right? I hope the glare isn't too bad. There we go. Now, what this is talking about is that kind of what I was saying with the full moon energy. Everybody experiences it different. So with this particular energy highlighting the reading, it lets us know that it's kind of like pick of the draw. In this particular instance, what is baked into the cake is like a pea, a piece of handkerchief, a coin, just different items, right? And when it comes time to cut it, everybody gets a piece, and whatever is within your piece is what is highlighted for you to come. And it can be fortune, it can be misfortune, it can be love, it can be a myriad of different things. It's based on the portion you chose. So it comes down to basically choices that you have made in, and not just during the retrograde, but these are immensely powerful moons that we're experiencing. And on a personal level, my work begins on that night. It's almost like putting myself through a tower, cascading my own dark night. Instead of it coming for me, I'm going for it. So while the veil is thin, I'm going to step into it. And that's pretty much what it's coming down to. And this isn't something that I recommend to people who are just starting on their journey, or, I've spent a lot of time with my shadow, with the different parts of me that were screaming to be seen. Um, I'm that type motherfucker. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna see what it's talking about. So, and this is why in my waking life, in my 3D life, in my conscious life, I clash with some people who are not there. Not clash, I'll say there's a limit to what I can discuss with them. There's a limit to how close I can get to them because of how much truth my light really shines. When I did my mirror work and that light hit that mirror and reflected back to me, it started to bust my darkness open at the seams. So in my case, it wasn't just mirror of an actual mirror work, it was also a person who mirrored me, the depth of me. So in understanding, loving, showing compassion, forgiveness, it was equal and opposite, and it came right back to me. And I understood my forgiveness of him wasn't for him, it was for me. Because in my time here, I've done those same things that are triggering me now. So it's like, okay, cool. But wait, there's more. So for the first group, right? We have strength. This is almost how a person perceives themselves to be. This skull in particular has a hole in its head, and it's almost like the way they view themselves as being broken, or that a piece of them is chipped and missing, and in actuality, they're in full form. And if you think about the skeletons that sit in the classroom, those are models to look to find out certain information, to see it in physical form. So where a person perceives themselves, in their mind, they see something broken. They see maybe the way that they think, or the way that they figure out their problems, or up until this point, their logic, or the way that they communicate, the way that they handle the situation was neurotic. Maybe they feel that there's something within their mind, like, I don't know why I think this way. I don't know why this is the way that I'm choosing to handle certain things. It must be something wrong with my mind. It must be something wrong with the way I think. Or someone that could have what do you call that? Drilled. Someone could have drilled this idea in this person's head about themselves. You see, they're missing teeth. So it's something about the image. When people have dreams of losing teeth, there's a vanity, a confidence that's attached to the interpretation of that dream. To have lost something that is quite visible to other people. Whenever you open your mouth, you feel that, okay, there is something missing. So even in speech, it's as if you aren't able to articulate or really bring into focus, bring into notion, bring into fruition the ideas that are going on in your mind. So it's a breakdown. It's as if, okay, maybe the breakdown's in my mind, and then it can't even come out of my mouth the right way. Or when when somebody says you're lying through your teeth, You know what I'm saying? It's like I said the truth in my head, but for some reason I could not communicate it out of my mouth. It's, it's like, you know, and the person like, well, you're lying, you straight lying through your teeth right now. And it's like, that does something to a person's confidence and the view that they have of themselves. This is a confidence, vanity, self-diagnosis. This is a something a person not being able to articulate, and out of frustration, lashing out, or just throwing up their hands, or shutting all the way down. It's because of the way they view themselves. They think they're broken, and it's almost like shameful, like, damn, this person doesn't deserve that, or I can't be who they deserve or who they need, or they're always going to see me like this. It's a self-conscious type of thing. So even if somebody needs dental work, or if somebody needs counseling even, you know, those aren't things to ever have shame for. It's better to just say, I need help. And then when you're talking to a person who understands that help means a whole lot of different things, then you can get more details, because sometimes a person doesn't know how they need to be helped. It's through conversation, it's through breaking it down, it's through finally taking it from a gaping hole in the mind where it's almost as if they can't connect thoughts or ideas together fluently to bring them out of their mouth, to finally just open up and be like, this and this and this. And sometimes you have to check with whom you're speaking, but it does help every once in a while if you have a very, and this is strength. So another strong person, because this could also be two different people, and you have a person in mind who holds themselves in this regard. So if you're talking to a person of strength, a person you revere, a person you regard as being, you may put this person up on a list, and they may not have themselves there, but you see strength in them. This is the person that you may be able to go to, may be able to talk to, because these are the types of things this person is well versed in. They can actually assist you with that, and it takes you bouncing that mirror I was talking about, you bouncing those whatever flies out of your mouth in a place of safety, and a room of intimacy, just you and that person. That intimacy isn't sexual liaisons or anything like that, but the vulnerability and the trust factor of you being able to openly express yourself, and whatever spills from your mind, being free to let that spill from your mouth. They are the type of person, but the type of strength they have is mental strength, it's spiritual strength, it's emotional strength. They understand that it's not, your frustration is not you angry at them. It may be that you're frustrated or upset with yourself, or this person upset with themselves for not being able to put into words or convey truth in the way that other people can. Okay? The writings on the wall I'm seeing, there's script back there. So this is another indication that these are things that were written into somebody's makeup, or written into somebody's script along the way. We all have our own books of life, but it seems like, you know, like in school, if you get a book and somebody's already written in it, and it's like, why the fuck did they write in this book? Now I've got this shit, but I'm trying to learn this shit, but I can't help but read their shit. It's kind of like that. So somebody inputting their information into a person's psyche, into a person's spirit, into a person's ears, and unconsciously them running off of this program that someone else has written into C command. It's like, who are you? Whose rule book is this? Whose rubric is this? Whose handbook? Whose literature? You know? Somebody else has written what they want your life to be like, or what they think it should be like. And because you are not amounting to that thing that was written on your behalf without your consent. Maybe it happened when you were a kid. Maybe it happened unconsciously as you were an adolescent or whatnot, and it just stuck, and now you're repeating it. You're repeating it either in pattern or in words. So you could have dealt with somebody's family members, friends, lovers, partners, and the person's like, okay, well, you're frustrated because you can't convey your thoughts and you can't do this or that. You must be bipolar. Or you act like this one day and you act like that another day. What are you, schizophrenic? I text you this and that and you answer this. What are you, dyslexic? You can't read? Are you illiterate? You know what I'm saying? These are trigger words, retarded. Trigger words, right? That have a person feeling, thinking, acting as if there's something wrong with them because of what's been drilled into this hole, drilled into the mind, right? But in comparison, they're really a whole person, not just what people think of their mind. And they're showing a skull next to a full figure. You know what I'm saying? So it's more to you than you think there is. Everybody can see it, but what you think of yourself matters most here. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. Take that shit out your vocabulary right now. The next time I hear a motherfucker say, I'm broken, you're not fucking broken. You're not broken. You're not broken at all. I'm mended. I'm healing. These are things that you can replace that brokenness with. That is a state of still being in breaking. And that breaking card was when in another reading. And pondering on that after uploading it, I was like, that's a self-discovery reading. It can apply to another person, but that's the part of the mind stuck in the Nine of Swords. If we go back and look at that reading, I'm seeing it in my mind's eye right now. A person stuck in their own mind having to tell the truth to themselves so that they can be fully stable and integrate with that Queen of Pentacles. That Page of Wands is trying to bring that Two of Cups past the fears of the Nine of Swords. Page of Wands to deliver it. Just speaking the truth. On the moon. The fucking moon. I felt sparks and I saw sparks. There was a moon in that reading. The breaking was in that reading. Yin Yang Lover was in that reading. Spirituality and connection was in that reading. Spirit is trying to drill this shit in your head. Why the fuck is my memory like this? Okay, so now we have eternal love, right? Eternal love. Love is love, and it transcends physical death. Right now, and it's kind of mirroring this side, so I'm gonna stay here for a second. So this person of strength loves you beyond measure. Whether you know them personally, have had only a conversation or two. We're in times where people are making online connections that are more significant than interpersonal ones. Like, I've known you forever, and you're halfway across the world, right? You know I have connections like that. I have some of my viewers like that. Because it's genuine. It's the type of love that transcends a physicality. This is something you feel, know, and see. Even if you can't see them in front of your face, there's something that you can sense about this. So this person of strength, rely on them. I didn't say depend. I said rely. that they can maybe meet the need of just being able to be yourself. No matter how jumbled that shit comes out, this is a moment where truth is whatever it is. And that's all it is. It's not expected to be perfect. It's not expected to be a PowerPoint or spreadsheet. It's not expected to be. This is the Mercury retrograde. And this is why I love when my planet, Mercury, when Hermes goes down to the underworld to go get more information from the gods and bring that shit back, we're catching up on old shit. So now he's not there to push us forward and regulate our everyday schedules and this and that. Things are getting skewed for a reason, because you got other things, that other information that you've been accumulating that you hadn't even sifted and sorted through. Take that time right now. You no longer have that filter. Mercury puts up a screen filter of forward movement, forward looking, forward communicating, speaking future. It's when people are in the past that they start to project, fantasize. They kind of get lost in the sauce, right? So while he's in the underworld, a lot of things are inverted. People who, and I see this in myself too, when Mercury is direct, I may be cool, chilling, not communicating very much and just going about my business, because that was habitual. But what I'm taking with this retrograde is to keep my vocal ability and to keep moving with it. So even when it comes direct, it's like, hold up, there's been changes since you've been gone. I want to move forward with you. Right? I want to keep propelling forward, keep the communication going, keep it lifelong throat chakra blockage. If you've heard me speak on it before, I healed the condition that I had that was about to shut my voice down. And it was a critical, time sensitive moment. It's like you have to decide clearly. Do you want to speak, or do you want to always be silent? You can't get me to shut the fuck up now. And because I can get so outspoken, so blunt, and people they can't take me at full staff, I say what's necessary and keep it moving. And when I go quiet, people are wanting to know what I have to say, but we're not speaking the same language. You can't comprehend what's coming out of my mouth. So even this would apply to me. Feeling as if the way that I speak, the way that I attend to certain things and my mind puts it together and comes out of my mouth, people do look at me like I have 3 heads, but that's because of their level of understanding. It has less to do with what I'm actually saying, because so many people are finding relevance and resonance with it. It isn't me. I'm damn sure not broken. So take that how that applies, okay? As a reader, you get a message and I get one. This is what is called effective communication. Not only is the speaker speaking, but they're simultaneously listening. And I've said that too here on this channel. You can give the best advice to your loved one because it's the same exact shit that you need to hear and register. And it didn't come through your spirit until you won't allow yourself that truth. You'll give it to someone else, putting someone else's needs first because it's a need you feel that you should meet, that you can meet. But when it comes to yourself, you have those needs, right? So we have the lamp, remembrance. Eternal love, though. This is a person I'm getting transformative love. So with the strength and the eternal love, the skeleton, eternal love, and the lamp, remember the strength. Remember the strength. I told someone very specifically, I'm not loyal to people. I'm loyal to the love. When people aren't acting in love, I can't be loyal to that. I don't care what we agree to in love, on loving terms, in loving connection. The moment there's not love, that's not where my loyalty goes. It just doesn't. So maybe they were confused. How can you love me and be loyal to the love, but not loyal to me? When a person is sovereign and they're self-governing, right, and they conduct themselves with a certain amount of integrity, you don't have to worry about loyalty. That's something that comes with the integrity. Treating people how they would like to be treated. Treating people how they deserve to be treated. Not treating them based on where the fuck they are in life right now. Everyone deserves kindness. Everyone deserves the truth. Everyone deserves a certain quality of treatment, right? So it matters not that you feel you're fucked up or you feel you're broken or anything like that. If I treat you as you see you are, I'm being dishonest with you, because that's not true to me. I'm going to treat you the way I see you. I have to filter everything through the eyes of God. This is what makes me tolerate motherfuckers that I normally wouldn't be around. And not to say I just have people in my face. I work in the public. But no matter what I'm met with, I take it and I give it back clean. I won't give you your energy back that way. I'll give it back to you purified. Okay? So even a person who's speaking down on themselves, who doesn't know how to compliment themselves, who will, and this is what lets me know when it comes to consultations and doing the life coaching, a person has to be at a particular place in order to be recipient of what it is I have to offer. They don't feel like they even deserve anything, right? That's not a person that's coachable. Instead, it will turn into a codependency. Them wanting the type of praise and the type of positivity that I'll talk into a person's spirit. They come to not rely, but depend on it, because it's something that they haven't been providing for themselves. Coaching is a give and take. It's not a person telling you how fucked up your life is and how you need to fix it. That ain't it. You have some people who do it that way. That's not supportive. That's militant. Okay? So, in this remembrance, there's a person who feel like they drew the short end of the stick, but they really didn't get the sweetness, and someone else did. As far as life is concerned, as far as, and they could even, both have backgrounds that aren't the best or whatever, but they've ended up on two different sides of life. But somehow, some way, they're resonating closely enough to impact each other, right? So there has to be some type of commonality, some type of give and take, some type of exchange that needs to happen here. Not a dependency, but a reliance on each other. Eternal love, though. This shit transcends lifetimes. Somebody just told me something the other day, and I'm always at work, and people will be, buying stuff over the counter, and I'm like, what are you buying this for? It's like, oh, I got a cramp in my foot, or I got this and that. I'm like, that's not going to help that. Do this instead. Try this instead. Right? I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice, but you got a cramp in your foot? Get a pickle. Right? So, he comes back. And he's talking to me. He's like, I just want to thank you. Oh, my God. This is it. And I'm looking at him like, I know you. You're a regular customer. I can't remember what the fuck we talked about. Because I said what I said in truth and I forgot it. Right? And then as soon as he started to talk about it again, I recall like, damn, I did. And he was stoked. He was excited. He was happy. He was like, you know what? You've got a friend for life. Don't forget that. That's what I'm getting here. That those types of, I'm going to tell you in a minute, those types of bonds transcend lifetimes because they were made in love. They were made in truth, in sincerity, in integrity. And those are the things that lifetime after lifetime people keep coming back to reconnect because of those types of things they've said, those types of bonds they've made. So if you had a past life connection with someone, there was sincerity. There was a loyalty to love itself at one point. No matter how the situation ended, turned out, who died, who still, whomever they were with or whoever they were to you, it doesn't matter. It's these types of spirit to spirit, soul to soul, eternal bonds that keep coming lifetime after lifetime. This is why I asked. There was a couple of suitors, right? Said, I really just need a friend right now. I need a really sincere friend. Y'all talking about romance, y'all talking about getting physical and all that. Can you be a friend to me when I am in need of a friend? I had scared a couple people off, right? And that was fine with me because it is something so sincere about true friendship, right? You might look at people that you dated in the past and be like, damn, I was so in love with this person, yet now that I'm not in a sexual union with this person, or I ain't, getting my back blown out or whatever the case may be, I really don't like the person that they are. Like, if you don't want to become like the person that you're having sex with, you shouldn't be doing it. Because that's what that exchange is. So to build a true connection, it's eternal love, and the spirit of love itself, that's something you can be loyal to. Of course, nowadays people don't know what friendship is, and that's what scared them off. People call this shit friend zoning, right? Because there's people out there actually saying you're a friend, and what they really mean is, I really don't want to date you, but I want to keep you around. I don't see nothing serious with you. I just want to keep you around. I just want to play with your emotions. This is what they perceive friendship to be. Even so much so, the same-sex friendships that they have are people talking about each other. Rumors, gossip, bad-mouthing. They're not supportive. They're not enriching. They're not teaching. They're not guiding. They're not listening. They ain't about shit. They'll help you waste your time. They'll help you waste your money. Help you on these get-rich-quick schemes. But a true friend You can be like, hey man, we ain't got to do that. If you want to, I got another laptop. Take my laptop and apply for a job. Update your resume. I got Microsoft Word on that motherfucker. You don't owe me a thing. I want to see you succeed no matter what. Because I'm giving from a place of love. I'm giving from a place of compassion. I'm giving from a place of true connection and loyalty. As your friend, I want to see you succeed. Just like I want to see myself succeed, right? So, the basis of love, before you goddamn get romantic and all that other extra shit, is this person a good friend? What type of friendships do they have? What kind of people do they befriend? There's just some kind of quality of friendship, true connection. And I say friendship because this is eternal love here, but it's also remembrance and strength. So there's something about it that wasn't, this isn't talking about being physical. This is talking about transcending physical death. So even in death, even in spirit, even in soul, there's a connection here. You can't contrive that. You can't fabricate that. There is no fabric, skull, and bone. That's it. But the love exists and never can be destroyed, right? And there's a remembrance of that. They're leaving the light on. And I hear that, what's his name? David Cook. I'm going to have to link that song in the description box. Because it's one of my favorites. You know, living in Illinois, and I'm listening to John Tesh radio and shit on my way to work. David Cook comes on, somebody's going to leave the light on when I'm gone. Anyway. Group number 2. Joy. Rejoicing in the present. That's bright. Sunshiny. Optimistic. Not her face though. Her hands outstretched. But her face is kind of sullen. And it's like, you can be in joy, right? It's the sense of being in joy and time stopping. Like everything's slowing down around you. And you're just watching everybody. It's like you're there, but you're not there. You're in each moment, frame by frame, millisecond by millisecond, witnessing. It's like time is standing still. And you can feel it welling. You can feel it around you. And this can even be that, being in the company of others who are in joy. And you being just that close to being as joyful with them in that moment. But there's still a sense of respondency in this card that I'm seeing. Everything's falling. So it's like, but even with the leaves, the whole image of, you know, we used to rake leaves in Illinois, and then we burn them, right? But sometimes we would rake the leaves and play in them, and you know, it's fun. You throw it up in the air, and when it's falling down, then they all fall to the ground, and it's like, okay, the moment's over. I got to do it again. After a while, it should just tiresome, and you're like, okay, well, it was fun. But in this moment, joy is not an everlasting emotion or feeling. Joy is moment to moment. It's momentary, temporary, you can be joyful, it still has a cap. You can be in joy, but the momentum of joy is higher vibrational than we can sustain for too long of a time. We expel a whole lot of energy in joy. Even though it is energizing, the physical body will start to feel the burn up of physical energy because the soulful energy is so overwhelming. Okay? So you're on the precipice, right? Because Ley de los Muertos is coming out. Acceptance and equality. It's in a moment of joy. When that time stands still, that you kind of break a barrier of it's like breaking a not sound barrier, but it could be vibrationally. You're kind of breaking barriers of, the movie Time, right? Where you needed a certain amount of time in order to pass through the next checkpoint. And it's like, if you didn't have enough time, you really couldn't get through. And it seems like when I'm saying right here, time stood still. So it's kind of, it wasn't, you weren't spending time, you were experiencing time. Everyone's joy, everyone's happiness, laughter, you were in the spirit of it without spending time with anybody in particular. You're in the spirit of, in the ambiance of, the experience of joy. Time stands still. So the plenty that you have is still full. You can burst through this barrier, this blockage, up until this point, right? So Ley de los Muertos is a change agent. Breaking through that barrier and looking at everything that is fallen, you can really see what it's made of. When it was all up in the air and you didn't know which direction it was coming from, it was a little harder to decipher what it was worth and what it really contained. And it's when it settles and falls to the ground that you can accept what happened in the moment. Or even say you got down, threw up a bunch of leaves and there was a rock in there. Once that rock hits you, maybe even in the fucking head, just, figuratively speaking, something knocked sense into something that made no sense. And it humbled. It equalized something that only internally was imbalanced. Not externally. Just looking at it in a certain light. The witch. Dropping heart. The earthly weaver of the world. The earthly weaver of the world, right? The witch. I see this the mention of time standing still and breaking through barriers and things of that nature. It's truth weaving with reality. It's threaded. It's it's threaded together seamlessly. So now you're seeing the perception you had of something. It's being stitched with the truth. And now it's flowing seamlessly. So there's a point of equality and equality. The part that fell on the floor was justice. Fuck. It's seamlessly it's being seamed together. And its fabric is flawless now. You can't even see the stitch. So you can't unsee it as if it's two separate anymore. The truth has confirmed with reality. It's kind of, they're tethered. They're like I said, they're seamlessly stitched together now. A fabric and bond. Joy. Time standing still. It's in that moment that it's, you know what I'm saying, get your damn brother sewing machine out, and shout out to Justin, my homie that fixes sewing machines. I have to get one just because I know that he'll help me if shit goes haywire. So it's the capacity for joy is something that's going to come through. It's necessary. It's handy. This is what lends the connect. And it's two different groups, but they complement each other. They're going to meet each other. Someone you know is a part of one group. You're a part of another. You could be in the same group as another friend, but their relative is in the other. You see what I'm saying? It's something about the knowing of what that joy can do, how it can make things meet, disappear. It's only for a moment. Joy. There's no sense of pain in that moment. There's no sense of my bill is due in that moment. It's no sense of my mind is broken in that moment. Joy is overpowering. Being in the spirit and experience of joy. There's something about it that even unconsciously, it raises your vibration to where you're sitting almost within but without, like as if your feet are levitating off the ground. You can't really feel yourself standing as stuck as you are, as immobile as you are, because everything around you is just moving. You feel like you're moving too, when really time is just slowing down and you're seeing every millisecond, like every frame. And it's like, by the time you catch up to it, the memory it'll already have been gone, because you paid attention to every single solitary moment you were in that joy. The next moments, you were focused on those. You weren't focused on the joy you had. You're focusing on the joy that you can have at this time. And this is something that this energy of strength, that is a strength. And that's a strength that you have that they need to rely on for right now. And when those leaves fall and the experience of joy is no longer there and you're in the next moment, there's a part of you that wants to go back to joy. So if somebody that you eternally love, that you accept and have balance with, can go with you, or you can show them how to get there, you can be in love with them. It's a place. It's a place of resonance. Are you in love with me? In. It's a vessel. It's a place. Like a building. If you can look at it like that. Are you going to be in love with me? Are you in love with me? And this is into the romantic context, because those you are in love with, you feel it and you know it. And it doesn't have that type of connotation, because it transcends physicality. And I've always known it. I've known this my whole life. Articulating that, expressing that, physically showing that, it's something about it. I can't show a person how to get to love. I can show them how to experience shit like this. I joke, I play, I laugh, I giggle, I crack jokes. I get silly when I'm in the grocery store. Me and my kid clown. And we're walking around like we're the only ones there. We're in joy. Alone. In joy. The experience of joy is us. Because we're in that place where that love resides. It's joyful. It's jovial. It's page-like. It's not queen and king and emperor and empress. No. No. Those aren't joyful people. Those are learned people. Okay? Which is, and they're experienced in a multitude of situations and experiences. You know what I'm saying? They've had numerous encounters under their belt that equip them with the discernment that they need, right? But when it comes to something as sweet and as simple as this, that can bring peace to someone's whole demeanor, their whole, it just, that is something very simple. Love is simple. It is what it is. It's everybody and everything trying to define it. Put it in Webster's dictionary. Tell you how love is supposed to look, what he is supposed to do, how she's supposed to treat you. That is tainting what could be joyful. There's no balance. There's no equality. There's damn sure no acceptance. So everybody has a sense of, I'm broken. Or maybe there's something wrong with the way that I'm thinking. If I don't have this yet, or if I haven't done that yet, or I don't have a significant other, or I haven't achieved, or I haven't made it, or I'm having such trouble, it must be me. Not always a wrong thing. You need joy to have you levitating for just a moment while time stands still in order for you to see from a different angle. That there's no hole, that there's nothing missing, that you've always had it. When you came in a complicated way to assess something that was simple, it's like, well, damn. You ever seen those riddles that are so fucking simple you get it wrong because you think the answer is complicated? It was so simple, but that's the riddle. Because they know that everybody's going to overcomplicate it because it's a riddle. Love is just the same. It's comical. It is. It is. It puts a smile on my face. Right now I'm in love with myself. I'm in love with my environment. I'm in love with living. I'm in love with learning. I'm in love with being goofy as hell, but knowing that I'm safe to do so. Anybody who, in those times of me being in joy, put an unjoyful hand on me for their reasons, not to share joy with me, being joy with me, but because they want a piece of it. They don't want to create joy. They don't want to go to joy with me. They want peace that they can depend on continuously, but aren't in a position, don't even want to be in a position to find it on their own so that we can meet up there whenever we link up. I have no time for that. This is going to be a trailblazing way to start deciphering the relationships in your environment, be it coworkers, boss. There's certain people who detest everything that joy stands for because it's such a close opposite to love, right? It's a strength, it's a power to be enjoyed and to be enjoyed. A person not enjoyed cannot fully enjoy you if you're an embodiment of that. They're not enjoying you. And if you're enjoying they are not, and you're trying to relate, communicate, have an intimate conversation, something private, something vulnerable, something honest, something truthful, weighing on their minds or on their hearts, there's joy in the release of it because it lightens the load. It makes things, you can throw your hands up. But if a person is anchoring down pain deep and they want to keep it there deep and tell you how badly they can't and don't and won't, and your joy can't thrive. It's being stomped out, extinguished. But this person still has a lantern. They still kept a piece, a remembrance of how to get there. That you either gave them, shared how to get there, or they experienced it with you. There was a moment of joy with you. Because this, what you manifest when you're in joy, is an amplification of that. It's expanding, it's expounding on it. And that was sweet. If it was palpable, it'd be sweet to the taste. Right in the palm of your hand. Like this person is on their last leg. Like they're the reason why they're in such remembrance of this joy, of this feeling, of this knowing. Or you are. Is because right now they need it the most. That's the only thing giving them strength. That's the only thing they can recall that even feels close, like it's a remedy, like intuitively, unconsciously, and now consciously. They're realizing. They know what it is. They know what it's worth. Because it's the only thing that is filling these missing pieces. And in that state of remembering, they remember themselves, and when they were whole, and when they knew they were whole, when they recalled they were whole, and they were in joy. So tread lightly with your connections. There's a lot of people coming back around Mercury retrograde, but you have to understand, this is the depth of them that's surfacing. Especially with the full moon. What comes out from the depths has been wedged, caught in the seaweed, in the coral, and underneath other things. And it's been shaken loose. That shit's gonna come flying out of the water. And the way that it lands, the way that it comes to you, judge not that, not the delivery. Hear from a place of joy. Hear from a place of equality and acceptance. Kill the part that is judging it. See this as counsel versus court. It's not for you to try them. This is a rehabilitation, amended. The joy they felt was the closest thing to home that they felt. Remembrance, keeping the light on, the lantern on at the house so a person knows how to get back there. That's what that joy was, is, and always will be, eternally. Whew. I gotta go. People call it witch. Some people call it bitch. And I call it just having a motherfucking hand. having that motherfucking spirit. No spell about it, because I speak truth and I'm deliberate. I'm just a powerful motherfucker. My intention is heart-based. Is that not the same? I will it to be so. Is that what a witch is? Or do I need a hat and a motherfucking cape? I got a vacuum, I'm sleep and shit. I don't call myself a witch. If that's what this type of power, and I rub my hands together, right? To get the reading really flowing and going. That's how I get my Reiki energy going. I know, I'm running out of camera time. I just want one more card. And we'll close off the reading. Well. Trick or treat. Mischief and play. This is the Halloween Oracle, so I'm not gonna, make it literal. More jack-o'-lanterns and stuff like that. This person is mischievous. There's only jack-o'-lanterns in these two cards that actually have come out. The Bomb Brat and this Mischief and Play, along with the Lamp card, the Remembrance. So when I was talking about being playful and cracking jokes, and it was something in that where a person could feel like they could be honest then, because it was playful. It wasn't intended to be taken harshly or literal. It was joyful. That's where that sweetness comes from. So, in a sense, the light after the darkness comes the dawn. Again, mirrored energy. Someone sees you with this wisdom. Those are reminiscent energies. So this person, you have all this light around you, right? All this abundant joy, this energy of joy. And a person sees you. A vision, a premonition, a dream, the remembrance, thought, whatever. A picture, even, because I'm thinking about the view. They're witnessing something. Almost like remote viewing. A glimpse of something related to you. A recall, a remembrance. And it clears. The dark night's not so dark anymore. There's light here. There's a dawning. After the breaking. After the darkness and the breaking, it's opening, busting wide open. This threshold, this barrier. And now you can see there's a dawn. And you're like, damn. Reducing burden. Forgiveness. That hand is outstretched. Again, outstretched. And you've already been forgiven. They've already been forgiven. It's a guilt that a person can hold on their own that can penetrate the thought and keep them from speaking truth, lying through their teeth. The guilt factor. And it can be a person not even making them feel guilty. It's self-imposed. So they know or if you know within you that you got that guilt, forgive that to bring that down to equality. Let them know whatever it is that they're holding on to, they can let it go. They can. As long as you're making sure that you know that you can. The forgiveness of self. In forgiving yourself, you can see how they need to be forgiven. That it actually wasn't that reality that you thought it was. Now it's the truth stitched to reality. Forgiveness has weaved it together seamlessly. And now you can have joy. Be immersed in it. You can. Okay. So that's the reading. I'll see y'all later. Wow. I hope that made sense to someone. Many someone, a few someone, you someone. Take the risk and the reward. It's worth a try though. Your ancestors. I mean, this is, look at that. Regret. That's that guilt. Gotta let that go. You got power. You've got whole root system. You've got lineage that's backing you up on this. Whatever it is. Like, there's nothing greater than the strength you already have. A knowing for. The joy just is going to trump and crush. Actually, not even crush. Crush is a weighty word. It's going to catapult off of. It's going to, it transcends. It's light. It's like helium. It's got, you know, you kind of floating in suspense. While moment by moment by moment, you're being indulged. You're being enjoyed. So, take that there, swim in it a little bit, and I hope you fare well on your journey to joy, back to joy, with someone in joy. I'll see y'all later.